So one other hardship that happens with people who work in IT, and this is something that I've talked about if you suffered through some of my live streams, but it's the subject of family tech support and how to make that easy. One thing that people don't realize who are outside of the industry is that it really stresses out sometimes your relatives that work in IT when they're asked to look at IT issues off the clock. They want to have some sort of work-life balance. So if they spend 8 hours a day with broken electronics and fixing hardware and software issues all day, they don't want to come home and do it even more for free for more people that don't want to listen to them and give them a hard time. Of course, this time of year is a time of year where this would rear its ugly head even more because one, you're around family, and two, family is for the holidays getting new electronic devices. In the prelude to it, people ask for help picking it if they're given a gift, and once they get it, they need help setting it up and configuring it, and et cetera, et cetera. Well, anyway, one of my biggest strategies for managing the stress is to minimize the stress. And how do I minimize the stress? Well, the number one thing that I do is not push technology on people that people can't handle. And of course, this is person to person. So, for example, my biggest thing is, and what I continue to advocate for, well, give them the least amount of technology that they need. Keep it simple, stupid. It's the KISS mantra. So as you know, I'm not happy with the changes that happen with Windows and all of the shenanigans and adware that they're pulling. And it's very high maintenance. So my advice is, if you have a relative that does not need a Windows computer, that don't need a full fat operating system, see if you can give them a tablet. And for me, it has worked absolute wonders because you don't have to deal with Windows updates. You don't have to deal with broken Windows updates. You don't have to deal with antivirus. You don't have to deal with Microsoft adware. All of the crap that Microsoft pulls off. For someone who's young, I'm relatively young, and I work in IT, and I find that on my personal computer, it is a chore and a task just to keep Windows and Microsoft from adding more adware to your computer. Recently saw that they're adding games to Edge. They've also added payday loans to Microsoft Edge, which is insane. But anyway, don't let me get on that tangent. Or if you have some sort of group policy or some way to customize or lock things down to prevent trouble, then that's what you do. You shouldn't push technology on people that can't handle it. These things are supposed to be tools that help you. And if you see that it's not helping somebody because it's so complicated, well, then you need to find ways to simplify it. This is part of finding solutions to IT problems. And the solution is not always throw more tech at it. I'm bringing this up because I actually, and somebody argued with me about it. And again, I'm going to tell this story to let you know why sometimes you have to take a break from Reddit because the folks on there, they're not playing with a full deck sometimes. So somebody made a post complaining about their family tech support obligations. And they had someone in their family who had a laptop and they were playing a game. What this IT person was doing for them was he was running some sort of a script or some sort of a command line to fix the registration on it, because if you don't pay for it, then your registration runs out or it asks for money or whatever. His way of dealing with it was he was trying to get an older person on the phone to open up the command prompt and run commands. And he was getting frustrated that they didn't know what they were doing. It's like, dude, most people don't work in IT, and some that work in IT don't like using the command line either. There are two simple solutions that I see that came obvious to me. One is, well, if you're doing this to not pay for the game, an easy way to fix this would be to just pay for the game. I mean, what's wrong with that? But my solution was what I said in this video. Well, if they're having problems on Windows, why don't you either give them a locked down Windows or give them a tablet so that they won't have to be so flustered and complicated, because that's not helping anybody. Again, want to know what the response was? If I take a laptop away from my elderly parents and give them a tablet, I am reducing their brain activity and contributing to giving my parents Alzheimer's disease. This is the ridiculousness that's why I have to get off Reddit sometimes. Are you serious? But anyway, you have your choices. It's your family. You do what you want with them. But that's one of the tools that I have. I have a very good relationship with my family, safe to say, because Sometimes I have to be a mean guy, but overall I'm good and I'm very helpful. And I don't charge people, but they also respect that. I have to let them know that this is something that I typically would get paid to do and something that I don't like doing because I do it for a living. So I really am doing you a favor when I do it outside of work. But yeah, it's a delicate balance, and I know everybody's family is different. But one of the biggest helps for me is keeping things simple. And nowadays, you can do a lot more on just a regular tablet than you can on a full-fat operating system with all of the other stuff that comes with it. So that's something that you can explore. Anyway, it's me, your really awesome IT guy.